to power it on, and the Windows device. See our Samsung logo and our Apple logo. And the Windows is up. And I will do my picture password. And now my iPad is up. That's pretty darn close. And the fact that this is a full PC that booted faster than a little ARM-based iPad is pretty impressive. Okay, continuing some tests. The next thing I just wanted to look at the built-in mail client on an iPad and the new mail client for Windows. So these are pretty similar items here. You can see various different emails, access just with a touch. I can select multiple if I'd like that way. I can highlight different things just like that. The display is nice and clean and clear. Pretty much the same thing, to my knowledge, with the iPad. I don't have the ability to multi-select anything. But again, this could be that I don't know the proper way. But what a nice clean experience. You notice with the Windows 8 there's no download images or anything. And now we'll compare browsers. So I'll launch Safari, and I'm going to launch Internet Explorer here. So I get two different experiences. One thing that I find nice with the notice this scrolling is all very smooth and seamless. Same with the iPad. There's really absolutely no difference. If we pull up a couple sites, so I'll start with CNN, just a common kind of nothing unique about that. And then let's take a look at the same thing over here. So there's CNN. Get the same experience. There's my ads are just a little different and so forth. But if we just take a look at where we arrived upon coming to the site, notice with the iPad we do lose quite a bit with both the Chrome and the ad for the iPad app versus on the Windows tablet. As soon as I'm working with the page, I do have my menus that can come in from the top and bottom to show my tabs and my bar. The nice thing is it disappears. So if we look at it, we see not only the center image, we see the next item here on this. Here we don't see that. As a matter of fact, if I were to flip it like this, then we can see more of it. And just to compare the sizes of these two screens, in portrait is the same width. So you can kind of see how much we can see there. And if I do the same here, I end up, I do have to turn on the ability to auto-rotate, which is kind of a nice feature on the Windows. To be able to turn that on and off, I can see that there's quite a bit of the page. It is a little harder to see, but tapping twice on a story area zooms right into kind of the section. If I wanted to go back to prior pages, I can simply swipe sideways, which is kind of nice. So I don't even have to leave my full screen view in order to go back and forth. Now, to give things a fair shake, I'm going to compare something that it's going to be pretty hard to truly compare, which is going to be the app stores. So there's the Apple App Store. Nothing too unusual about that. Get some different things. There's quite a few little apps down here. can kind of scroll down through the different apps, kind of going down. The Windows new store, the Windows store is laid out crossways. And I can kind of see groups of things. If I wanted to go into the Photos apps, there's the list of Photos apps. And obviously there are now many apps since this is not even an available product yet. And this is the first time we've really seen the App Store. But we can see things like this, which is a very clean, clear view. I'm looking at the one Kobo app right here. And if I come back to the Apple and I were to look up Kobo, which I believe they also have an app for. There's quite a few things, and then let's see what the page looks like. So I kind of get a lot more information. I get kind of my previews here. The Windows Store is very, very clean. When I go into it, I also get all the information, rating, pricing, overview. Can go through and view different screenshots. I can see there are 2 screenshots, some details, some reviews, different things. So it's a pretty similar experience overall. Okay, just want to do another little comparison here. So I want to launch one of my favorite apps, the Epicurious app on the iPad. We use this all the time for cooking and looking up recipes and doing different things. It's pretty smooth, clean. And now, I don't have an Epicurious app on this, but I'm going to compare it to the Cookbook app that is available in the demo app store. As you can see, it as well is quite beautiful to look at. Very clean. I can go through different categories of things, get nice images. It's kind of hard to say that these are not comparable apps already right here. If I go into something, I'll get all kinds of information, nice picture, ingredients, directions. If I go over, I can see reviews. I can go down through reviews. And this is all driven from the Big Oven website, is really just where the data is coming from. Versus this comes from the Epicurious website, which is pretty similar. So now just to kind of complete this. Okay, this is going to be a comparison of 2 installed apps. So I have a USA Today app here on the iPad. And touch it, I get information right away. And same here with the Windows. Now I'll kind of move back so you can see the 2. Pretty similar. The iPad's on a white background, kind of traditional newspaper column layout. The Windows 8 is definitely in a Metro look. So I'm going to do a little comparison here. If I want to go to sports here, I change my section to sports. Similarly here, if I want to go to sports, I just scroll on over to the sports. So I'll pull up this article right here just to compare what the articles look like. So it's traditional newspapery 3-column newspaper layout with a small little image up there that I can enlarge if I'd like to see it a little bigger. Close it back down. With Metro, you get a very different experience. I see the very large image already. There's no zoom in, zoom out required. I can scroll across to read the whole thing just kind of naturally. When I want to go back, I can swipe in. You can see I'm in sports. I can go right back to here. I just tap up there, and I'm back to my sports page. So that's kind of a traditional iPad app versus a Metro style app. So now we can see the weather information that I have. Kind of scroll across. This is almost like a little bit of a Metro style design with the left and right. I have weather and maps and video, different things I can watch down here. So we'll just compare that to our weather app over here, which is obviously just a preview weather app driven by a number of sources on the internet from Microsoft. It's also very clean and clear and easy to see. I can see that more information, so I'm actually getting information from 3 different data sources here if I want to see kind of the different, the AccuWeather is on top, the Weather Underground here, and the weather.com forecasts are all being combined here. I can look further out, I can look back, I can go over here, I can go through my hourly forecast. I have my maps again. I'm just kind of panning the whole app to the left to see the Metro style. This is a particularly kind of interesting view of weather. I can view the average temperature over time. I can see what this month typically looks like. I can change to rainfall and see when my rainy months are. Sunshine, how much sunshine I get per month, and snow days. And this is where I think this is a pretty good demonstration of where Metro is very strong in incorporating lots of data and making the data first. You can see when I'm looking through it, I really don't see much. Part of my title up here changes as I scroll across to kind of let me know what section I'm in. But it's very, very clean and simple. I'm not moving between pages or going between sections. The more traditional app, I'm very much going into sections. The whole thing kind of changes and is it has a different experience and different layout on every page, which can be a little bit jarring. The new Windows 8 is not like the old Windows. So in my house, I have a Brother wireless laser printer that is probably about 6 or 7 years old. One of the first things that my wife had done when we got our iPad was she checked us in to a flight that we were going to take and could not print because the iPad did not support this old printer. There are a couple apps that try to do some printing for the iPad, but it's pretty weak. Microsoft's actually taken it and basically removed the need for printer drivers, because I can tell you in Windows 7 and XP we had to install drivers. I'm just going to show you. I've not installed the printer yet on this device, what the experience is like. I'm just going to tap Settings. I'm going to go down here where it says More PC Settings. Now, this is the new control panel, which is totally different. You can actually see it's picking up all kinds of things like my direct TVs in my house, the keyboard and the mouse that I have plugged in, different things. So I'm just going to touch Add Device. It's looking for devices. Again, this is all on wireless. There's nothing plugged in. I haven't installed any software or anything. So I'm just going to attach the Brother device, and there it is, configuring itself, self-installing, no drivers needed. And this is an old legacy device. This isn't some brand new device. I didn't have to go to a Microsoft store to buy a printer that works automatically with my device. Just my old existing infrastructure and purchases already work with this device. I think Microsoft got this right for consumers. Finally, new control panel makes things easy.